Yo, I'm Khaled.
Norika.
And this is The Bench.
Welcome to The Bench.
Happy Halloween.
The Bench. Halloween's gone. It's over.
Spooky.
It's finished.
Yeah.
What did you dress up as?
Same old. The greatest thing that you've ever seen before in your life. The best thing that they've seen on camera. Myself. You? Say it. Because we all saw it.
I went as a clown.
Right, facts.
You guys take me for a joke constantly, so I figured might as well. I rocked up at my friend's Halloween gathering, and then they all said, it's not a costume if you come dressed as yourself. And I was like, okay.
That's an L right there.
You guys are just rude.
Why?
I don't know. But there was some good... Everyone was going as Squid Games, and I haven't watched that yet.
Haven't you?
No.
All
the kids are like, red light, green light, red light, green light. I'm like, I don't know what the hell you guys are saying to my friends.
You need to watch that. That's a W show. But I mean, clown costume's better than, the typical Halloween costumes, to be honest.
Officer. Nurse.
Playboy bunny. That kind of stuff. French maid.
Maid.
Yeah. Fireman. It's just, those are I think those are just overplayed. Overdrawn,
yeah.
They're not really the ones that you want to go as. I
yes.
dig the clown one.
Yeah. Also, what has happened in this past week, hopefully by the time you have watched this video, you still have a stain on your thumb. Because...
Haven't got ours yet.
No, at the time of shooting this, we hadn't gone yet.
No, yeah.
By the time you watch this...
Yeah, in the future,
we would have voted. So I hope everyone's voting. Hope you voted. Hope you cast your votes.
I don't know, make a change. Yeah, I feel like there's not much to say about that. I mean, it should be common knowledge at this point of what people...
There's a lot of people that don't want to vote.
No, you should. You should, guys, because, I mean, what's the point of democracy then if you're not going to exercise your rights? You get me? So
my thing is...
Come on.
My thing is, don't complain if you're not going to vote.
That too, right?
Don't complain. I don't want to see you on the Facebook... I don't want to see you in the Facebook community chat. I don't want to see you in the WhatsApp group chat, community chat.
I haven't had lost for 4 hours, and this is unacceptable.
The Wi-Fi is down.
Right.
There's no water. There's people making a noise. You can't make noise complaints.
None of that.
If the people want to groove, they're going to groove, and you didn't vote, so let them be.
Let them be.
That's what happens. But that was the other bigger thing. But by the time you watch this, the next thing happening in the week is also Diwali.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out.
Happy pre-Diwali to us.
Pre-Diwali, I mean, Festival of Lights, all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, it's exciting time for the Hindu community. I think exciting time for everybody in general. I mean, even if you're not Hindu, I mean, you can join in Diwali if you want.
All my non-Hindu friends love Diwali.
Right, the sweetmeats, the
parcels. They
always
hit you up. They're like, where's the parcel, Norika?
Where's a barfi there? Where's a gulab jamun?
We always want to come through for the food.
Yeah.
Our mom's always does the most, though.
Yeah, I know. I think she baked early, though.
She did. She baked very early this time around.
Right. Usually it's like a midnight shift, like the night
we all putting in a midnight shift.
Getting that. Eating these gains come from sex.
How else do you think she's going to smack you when you're on nonsense?
Yeah, true. I think that's where moms get their energy from. It's that pot, and it's just one motion into the backhand.
Our mom's serious, though. Our mom has, like, Diwali pots.
Yeah.
Like, nothing else goes... Like, that's her...
That's the baking stuff.
That's her Diwali baking thing.
It only comes out. Like, when you open something and it goes, and then it just...
In that top cupboard that I can't reach.
Right.
That top cupboard is, if anyone wants to marry me, they have to be able to reach my mom's
pots.
That's
the benchmark.
That's the benchmark.
That's the benchmark. You gotta walk into the house and be like...
Here's the pots, auntie.
Yeah.
And we're like, that's it. But there's a lot of things that have been happening. So there's Halloween. People voted. Like, vote for your rights. Stand up for your rights. What is it? Like,
what do you mean?
Like, vote for your rights? Is that right? Is that the right statement?
I guess so.
Diwali.
Exercise your rights.
Exercise your rights. Yeah. Exercise your right. If the only exercise you're doing this year is voting, it's good enough, guys.
That's more than enough,
It's good enough.
Everything else is overrated.
Everything else is overrated. Diwali, time for family, festival of lights, like celebrating life and light. It's like it's been quite dark in lockdown the past couple of years, but at the end of the tunnel, we've seen the lights.
Yeah, everybody.
Lamps are lit, double vaxxed. Streets are opening.
You're right.
Stadiums are opening. But also, big news, well, not big news if you are following it, the Proteas at the T20 World Cup. Been doing bits.
Yeah, I know, they beat Sri Lanka.
I know close.
We did have a touch and go situation before pre-match, and everything like that, but it all sorted itself out by the looks of it.
Yeah. accepted the apology. Thank
You
you.
know, we accepted it. We move on. We played. Guys almost choked. Gotta say it like what it is. They almost choked, but what matters is they didn't.
How
you
does
know?
your bowler come in to save you?
Right. I mean, shout out David Miller, shout out Roberta at the end of the order to actually come through. You know.
How does that happen?
At one stage, it was like 20 from 6. It was over.
How do you have bowlers come in to save you?
Right. You know. So I mean, they did the job at the end of the day. You in the team to do the job. You know, the boys did the things.
Could be worse.
Could be worse.
We could be India.
We could have 2 L's, you know, and not going anywhere.
But we're not.
Right.
Because we're South Africa.
Right. Shout out to Proteas.
And maybe we'll be up there.
Maybe. I mean, what? We got
You never know.
a couple more games and then we'll actually see what the story is.
It's the World Cup. Anything goes with the World Cup.
And we know anything with South Africa and World Cups. We know how that goes. So,
Maybe the tides are turning.
you know, brighter future, light at the end of the tunnel.
Lights at the end of the
Silver
tunnel.
linings.
Silver linings
Right.
in the sky, fam.
Yeah.
It's not here.
No, I thought it was on the floor.
No, silver lining is
The
around
clouds.
the clouds. Silver lining.
Damn.
When the sun shines, and then there's a silver lining around the cloud.
Damn. I
'Cause it
always
was
thought
raining.
like
Nah, fam. You know
the
it's-
silver lining and then you
No.
cross the lining.
No. You know when it's raining and storming, and then the sun comes out. It's been dark, and then the sun comes out. But before you see the sun, there's silver lining around the clouds to tell you that the
No,
sun's
I
coming
hear that.
out.
I hear that.
Okay, cool. But yeah, a lot of things have been happening. I think this always happens towards the end of the year. Things are just coming. They just
Well,
now
it's
we're
like
in November.
It's the pre-December load up.
We are.
Yeah.
Is it November or is it just December already?
It's December part 1.
December part
And
1
then we
has
get December
started.
part 2.
Things just happen. But the DStv Premiership keeps it moving, keeps it going. There were some midweek fixtures to be played. Stellenbosch played Marumo Gallants, beat them 1-0. Second on the log, unbeaten.
Right?
The only other team that's unbeaten so far.
Is the one that you expect to be unbeaten. So, for them to actually be unbeaten at this stage of the season, I mean, it's still early, but I mean, you know, Ashley Dupree got the goal 1-0 and they keep it moving. Surprise for me, though, is that they're actually such a solid team compared to last season.
Do you know what's crazy though? So currently on the log, it's Sundowns unbeaten, Stellenbosch second unbeaten. You look at the DStv Disky Challenge, same thing.
It's the same thing.
Sundowns are number 1, Stellenbosch are number 2.
That's insane. So then it's kind of like a reflection then.
Yeah, like the system.
With the youth product and then the whole club system, now it's reflecting
How
at
the
top
clubs
of
are
the
set
league.
up. And I think
Yeah.
when Stellenbosch got that investment and got into the DStv Prem, the idea was to like develop the entire club and not just your first team that are playing in the PSL.
And now they made that deal with the university now. And it's just like, I think that whole city of Stellenbosch is just going to be on the up for a couple of
gonna be
years.
up.
It's going to be a lookout for that club over there.
Sekhukhune beat AmaZulu 2-0. Don't know what's going on with Coach Benny and the boys.
Yeah, but I mean, let's not focus on that. Let's focus on Sekhukhune actually, you know, doing
Okay.
the things. You know, we spoke about Benny, you know, not performing. We
Okay.
spoke about him just being upset with his team. He came up post-match. He was talking about how he's just making injury excuses and he doesn't want to, you know, say. But I mean, he did also come out and say, you know what, Sekhukhune came out and did the job. So
Sekhukhune are doing their job, guys. They signed the contract. They were like, we can do this. And normally when people, you know, when you get a new job and when you're in the interview, they're like, can you do these things? You say, yes, I can. Do you know Excel? Yes, I know Excel. Do you know how to use a calculator? Yes, I know how to use a calculator. I'm an effective communicator. Then you get the job. What's Excel?
what is that? You know, how do you input the formulas?
What are formulas? Sekhukhune came through and were like, actually, we know what the formula is.
They didn't lie on their CV.
It's called winning.
Winning formulas right there. I like that.
They're doing bits. They're in the top 8 for a newly promoted team. But we have said before, it's not like they don't have experience with the players that are currently in their squad.
True. I mean, their captain is a Bafana player.
Yes.
You know, and I mean, look, they also got internationals. Willa Katsande also there, former Chiefs player, you know, and he was on the score sheet for that game. So it's not like they do have inexperienced players. They do have a squad of a lot of older players. You know, a lot of players who have played in the Prem before.
Yes.
And a lot of players that are doing the things for them clearly.
The other game was Pirates versus Royal AM. Game ended in a 1-1 draw. Pirates are just drawing.
Roller M are just sticking in to the top 5 right now.
They really are.
They're right. I mean,
Royal AM went up. And
but off a Pirates mistake.
off a defense, was that Jali? Happy Jelle.
Happy Jelle and Punjane.
Happy Jelle. And the keeper. What it looked like was that he ran towards his keeper and there was just a lack of communication.
Yeah.
Like,
That's all it was.
am I getting the ball? Are you getting the ball?
And then we just...
And then Royal M came through, and they were just like, we're gonna score.
We're gonna get the ball.
We're gonna get the ball.
It was like both of them got cold feet, and it's just miscommunication. Yeah, I mean, you end up paying for it at the end of the day. You know?
They did. They did equalize. It was a good equalizer.
Yeah.
As well.
I mean, you expect it from a Pirates team anyway. So.
I think Pirates' problem is that, well, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Is that they go down, you can back them to get back into the game. But we need W's from this team.
You do need 3 points on the team. I mean, you don't want a Pirates team to just become that mid-table team. And I mean, from last season now, It looks like they're just becoming that mid-table team and not actually, securing 3 points and actually challenging for the league anymore.
Real AM unbeaten in their last 5 games. Again, looking at that log, it's crazy because you have Sundowns, Stellenbosch, you're having Sekhukhune,
right, newly promoted team,
right up there.
And then
you have a
newly promoted team also.
You have Cape Town FC trying to round that up, all above. Royal AM Sekhukhune, all above a Pirates, a Chiefs, and an AmaZulu who finished second. But that's rounding off your top 8. They are there though.
They're not. I mean, comparing AmaZulu to Pirates and Chiefs. But I hear you.
They are there.
Have these newer clubs actually be.
I think it's quite crazy when you look at the log and then you see like Sekhukhune and Royal AM in the top 8. And what are we, 10 games in?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's usually when you see that table actually settle on the teams. Actually, like that's where they're going to finish at the end of the season. So, yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if they can hold out to the end of the season.
I back them, though.
Both teams?
I back Sekhukhune overall. Yeah.
You are just a hater.
No.
Hater.com.
Facts.
Haterade.
Facts.
Your face is on it.
Time will tell.
Okay, cool. The biggest game that happened this past weekend, and I hope you guys all watched it, was the MTN8 final. Do you win 8 million?
Yes.
8 bar.
Yes, you do win 8 million rand. And I mean, if somebody told me I could play a game for 90 minutes and win 8 million rand, please sign me up for that.
Colin's ready.
Right.
Put me in, coach.
Right.
Put me in,
barefoot.
coach.
I'll play barefoot for 8 million rand also. Shirtless, barefoot.
Whatever you need.
In my underwear.
Whatever you need. If you had your passport, you could have helped Marumo Gallants up there.
Right, if they needed a player.
I
would have been the 13th player.
When they went to play
continental
football.
Right.
But Cape Town City played Sundowns. The game ended 1-1. Went into extra time. Cape Town City ended up with a red card. They were down 10-11, led to penalties. Sundowns won 3-2 on penalties. I said Sundowns were going to win. So I think Cape Town City have won the MTN8 once before.
Yes, in 2018.
Sundowns have won it 3 times, but pre it being called the MTN8 final.
Yeah, I mean, we still call it the MTN8 final. But it was the Super 8 and all these other names.
So they've won it 3
Depends
times.
on the sponsor,
but
same competition.
I think they've been in the MTN8 final with the new rebranding, this was their 3rd time. This is their 1st time winning the official MTN8.
Yeah, I mean, the last time they won this trophy, the top 8 trophy, was 2007. So what's that? 14 years ago.
It's long, hey guys.
14 years ago. That child right now in 14 years is a grade 9 child.
Yeah.
That's how somebody
running
gave
the
birth.
Streets.
That person's in grade 9. That's the last time when Sundowns won the Super 8 trophy.
2007, back in the olden days.
Crazy,
So they won so this is their 4th first MTN8, but 4th top 8 trophy. Sundowns opened the scoring. They went 1-0 up. I wasn't surprised. Tapelo Morena getting on the score sheet for the first time since Jan last year.
I wouldn't say it was against the run of play because Cape Town City were playing well at that point, but it's what you expected if you actually watched the game.
It was great. Do you know what? Guys, Thabiso Kutumela is a worker.
He is a worker.
That goal would have not existed if it wasn't for him.
Yeah, but I think if you go further back also, then you just say Temba's won it. It was also
he won the goal. He won
the ball in the midfield.
Yes.
And then he turned his guy. Crazy. I don't know. He just turned that guy inside out, put him in a spin cycle. Then he played it to Kutumela.
No. The ball got lost and it went out to the Cape Town City. Kutumela chased the ball.
Oh, yes. Okay. I hear you. Yes. And then he slurred.
He chased the ball, tried to clear it,
and then he got it. And
got in.
Yes. No. Yeah, but that whole transition...
He had no reason to be there.
He did have no reason to be there. But, I mean, he was doing his work. I mean, he's playing as a winger in that team. And, I mean, he is tracking back and pressing his full back. And that's what he did.
Kutsimela did work, guys. I think that's a lot of South African players, I feel like, don't put in the work.
Well, like
They
off
do
the
put
ball
in,
and
like,
stuff.
they don't put in off the ball work. Or like, if they can see the ball's going out, it's why put in the effort?
Yeah.
This man said, I'm creating a goal out of this. And he did that. So, yeah, I think they went into halftime 1-0 up. Looked like it was game done for Cape Town City. Even though Cape Town City was still applying the pressure.
Right.
They were there. They were knocking on the door.
Right, yeah.
They were knocking. There were saves. Onyango was making saves, guys. He was here saving Sundowns. A lot was going on.
A lot was. And I mean, at the end of the day, Cape Town City did equalize and they took the game to extra time.
With
That's all that
Fakhri
matters.
Lakay.
Yes, Bafana call-up right there. And he's proving himself right. A lot of people didn't expect that call-up, for him. A lot of people said it was the wrong Lakay that got called up. But I guess at the end of the day, he proved that he's the right one that called up.
It was a great goal. I think there were touch and go moments when Cape Town City thought that they could win it. Yeah, Lakay equalized for City, and I think great goal from Lakay. I think Cape Town City were knocking on the door of nearly potentially winning.
They were. I think they did have a lot of big chances also.
Onyango did his job.
Right. Onyango did his job for Sundowns. I mean, as a captain should.
100%.
As a captain should. He kept his team in the game.
But it's not like Sundowns also weren't trying to do bits. Timbazwane also, like, you just grazing the crossbar. There's a lot of, like, I don't know how to explain it, but when you watch Sundowns going forward, and equally in their own right, Cape Town City attacking, it's just smooth.
It's just, there's a game plan, there's a system. Everybody knows where to be in a specific position.
100%.
Everybody knows exactly what the goal and the objective is.
100%. Like, normally with a lot of teams that aren't comfortable and the chemistry is there, but it's not 100% there, you're still looking up, you're still like trying to decide where
my guys. But if you have that chemistry, you know exactly.
Sundowns and Cape Town. I know I said Cape Town City are all like football influences. They vibes influences and a little bit of football. But you watch those guys go forward, like Sundowns who go forward, and it's just I got the ball at my feet and I'm passing it off, and I know my guy's going to be in that space, and that's what it is. I know he's running the overlap. I know that I can cross the ball, and I should expect players in the middle. And guys were taking shots, just outside the box, ball at their feet, sensing where the goal is, and just shooting.
I mean, it was a final that you would have wanted to watch. 100%. I guess it could kind of die off as it went to extra time. It was a bit stale. I mean, even the fans looked a bit down and out at that stage. I think both teams were just playing at penalty shootouts at that stage, or like playing for set pieces, or something like that. Because also to play 120 minutes, players were cramping, fam.
It's a lot.
It's a lot for players to go through. I mean, even though yes, they're professionals and they train and stuff like that, but I mean, if you're not playing it regularly,
100%.
It's a lot to put your body through.
100%.
I mean, Sundowns did have a chance at the end of the game. I think Lakay had a free kick. It was close. I think the man's the best set piece taker in the country, But then it went to penalties and.
What is up with South Africans and penalties?
Shocking.
Do we need to have a penalty workshop?
Shocking. I think we need penalty coaches. PSL teams need to hire penalty coaches because it's like players were knocking that thing, but it was like no conviction. They didn't believe in themselves when they're hitting the ball. I think the only player I think actually hit a proper pin was Jali. Jali stood up, like hands on the hips, facing down, looking at the ball. But
he had a short penalty.
Right, just 3 steps.
Literally, it was like 3 steps.
And he rolled it in the bottom right corner, So that's a man who knew what he was doing. The other guys, it's like a couple players.
How are you winning penalties 3-2? Each team, there's 10 penalties, 5 and 5.
Yeah.
But you scored, and they went into extra penalty area.
Yeah,
and there's only 5 penalties being scored amongst like 10 players.
I mean, shout out Dennis Onyango. The man kept his. Sundowns weren't supposed to win that.
No, they weren't.
There was a point where Cape Town City had, I think, like 2-3 chances to win it in penalty shootouts, and then Dennis Onyango, I think he literally went in the right direction for every penalty. Man, say 5 penalties in a penalty shootout. I mean, if that's not a record, I mean, I'd be surprised what the actual record is.
I genuinely think we need to do a penalty. Personally, back in my day, before I had a knee injury,
for the scars,
early retirement,
right?
I knew my role. I hate to take penalties. I'm not a penalty taker.
What, you not
It's not me.
I have ice in the veins.
It's not even that. I don't like taking penalties.
Why?
I don't know.
You gotta be cool, calm, collected. You gotta walk up there, with conviction, be like, I'm gonna score this,
The thing is, though, I know I don't like taking penalties, But if I was in that game, guys, I would have scored a penalty
Right.
in comparison to those players.
Wouldn't Narika have scored a penalty?
I would have scored a penalty, guys.
Maybe.
I would have scored a penalty.
I'll back you to take a better penalty than some of them, to be fair.
I genuinely don't understand why, like, we watch a football game for 90 minutes and the men are out there trying to do the most on the field. Now it's a penalty shootout. All you need to do is, like, have a bit of calm,
Composure.
you know, feel
Right.
the breeze. Can't even score.
Yeah, I know. At least get it on target, you know? That's my thing. Like, at least hit the ball on target, make the keeper make a decision, you know? Because anything can happen over there. But missing a pen, like, outright, not even hitting the bar, that day we got to have a chat about, you know? But, I mean, at the end of the day, Sundowns did win.
Another trophy in their cabinet.
They added another trophy in the cabinet, the first one that did elude them over these couple of years, you know? And
But does this mean this season they could take all the domestic trophies
Right.
and potentially go unbeaten?
I think they still got the Nedbank Cup to go for, you know? And then now they also have the Continental, they have the CAF Champions League, and they have the league, so they might be able to do the quadruple.
But looking forward ahead, that was in the past. We move forward. There are DStv Premiership games to look forward to. Cape Town City versus Chippa United. Marumo Gallants is in the mud.
He's in the mud.
That man is down bad.
He needs a win urgently.
And against the Cape Town City who nearly beat the Sundowns.
Yeah, and they, even though they lost, it was on penalties. So technically
Exactly.
it was a draw.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So I feel like those players actually went up against the best team, and then now their confidence is up, even though they lost their final, you know? So they do have something to prove, and I think Gav. It's going to be rough out here.
It's going to be so rough, guys.
Yeah.
It's going to be super rough. Sundowns off the back of a cup win are playing Maritzburg United. Do you think Maritzburg could...
I think that's going to be a tough game.
For Maritzburg?
Both of them.
Okay.
Because, I mean, you're playing against a Maritzburg team who's probably going to come out and defend
Yes.
for 90 minutes, you know, put everybody behind the ball, you know, and then you come in against the Sundowns team who's the best team in the league.
Yes.
You know, so it's literally going to be a game of attack versus defense, you know, like all attack just up against a brick wall. So it's going to be tough.
Over the weekend, Stellenbosch versus Golden Arrows. Golden Arrows also, they're on the bottom half of the table, but I think they slowly...
It's a process. It's a process for them. I mean,
100%.
if there's any team to take off 3 points from Stellenbosch in that unbeaten run,
Arrows.
could be Arrows.
Could definitely be Arrows. AmaZulu play Cape Town City, so Cape Town City are back at it over the weekend. I'm hoping for an AmaZulu win.
Shout out to the boys from Durban, you know, I'll back that.
You have to back it.
I have to back that.
And the biggest game happening is a Soweto derby. Chiefs versus Pirates. I heard rumors that they might let fans in. I also heard that they were going to let us in for the MTN8 final, and we weren't allowed in the stadium. But I saw fans in the stadium, but I wasn't one of the fans in the stadium. So I'm very upset with Moses Mabhida.
The bench don't have the clout like that, you know.
We don't have the clout yet, too.
Yeah. They said that there's no public tickets sold, but you know there's 2,000 fans allowed inside.
Saw 2,000 fans. I wasn't one of the 2,000 fans. So I am really interested to know if they will let fans into the stadium for the Soweto derby. But who's your money on, Carlin?
Is that even a question?
Yes.
No.
Pirates.
Nah. Pirates won't win that.
How do you know?
All those defensive mistakes. And Bernard Parker's back. And Keegan Dolly, the best player in the league, is back. Come on.
That's such a subjective view.
It's not.
No one else thinks.
I literally told you defensive mistakes.
Yes.
And a team that struggles
No,
to
but
score
as
and
you
wins
saying
games.
Keegan being the best player in the league.
He is the best player in the league.
I know he's the best player in the league,
Okay.
but I just wanted to...
There we go. She said yes. There we go. It's on. Chiefs win.
Chiefs to win.
Yes.
Scoreline?
3-0.
3-0.
3-0 Kaiser Chiefs.
3-0.
Yes.
Is the heat getting to you?
No.
You
can see.
Are you okay? Is it too hot?
This is not a pattern on my shirt.
Is it too hot?
This is hard.
3-0.
This is hard work and sweat.
3-0.
The same sweat you're going to see on Saturday
3-0.
from Dolly and the boys.
3-0.
Hard work, passion, commitment, all for the 3 points.
Guys, Carlin, I think, has been sitting in the sun for too long and his brain might be a bit cooked. But drop a comment. Let us know. Do you think Sundowns could do an invincible season, win all the domestic trophies, potentially go unbeaten, and win a CAF Champions League? And are you looking forward to the Soweto derby? Kaizer Chiefs versus Pirates. Soweto derby is always vibes. I think it's one of the biggest games in world football, not just in South Africa. Yeah. Let us know what you think the scoreline is going to be. 3-0 to Chiefs?
Fact.
Or a Pirates W? And Carlin tears next episode on the bench. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Oh my word, there's a cool breeze. It's time for us to get out of here because December and summer, it is here now. It's all love and vibes. Until next time, bye.